like it should shape up to be a great final, and we'll see who's going to join them here as the third and final heat of the Varsity 8 goes off the line.
So just setting up here, you see the picture of the third Varsity 8 the third heat of the Varsity 8. Lane 0, Minnesota. Lane 1, Central Florida. Lane 2, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Virginia. Lane 4, Louisville. Lane 5, UCLA. And Lane 6, Navy. Looks like off the line, UCLA looks to have a fast start in Lane 5. Virginia moving with them in Lane 3. And Wisconsin also up there in Lane 2 look to be your early leaders. Looks like Minnesota maybe just a little bit back there in Lane 0. Navy maybe a couple seats back in Lane 6. But it looks like from this angle, UCLA in Lane 5 there, certainly off the line, doing well. And then also with them, Wisconsin, and then Virginia maybe 2 seats back of Virginia there. But certainly early on, maybe 250 or so into the race, looks like actually Wisconsin has the lead there. UCLA had a little bit of that angle there with the camera. Also Central Florida, certainly close there with Wisconsin. Central Florida maybe in second there. Virginia just off them in third. And then UCLA in fourth there from Lane 5. So Wisconsin continuing to maybe push out maybe 2 to 3 seats here over close battle between Virginia and Central Florida.
It's important that these women get into a good rhythm early. You're not going to win the race in the first 200 meters, but it's very important that you establish your rhythm inside your boat and set that up so you can execute the next 1,800 meters of the race well. Because if you fly off the line there and don't really have a rhythm, there's nothing to fall back on and keep powering down the course.
So it looks like about 550, 600 in, seeing kind of places 4 through 7 there. And the leaders, looks like Virginia's now moved ahead of Central Florida there and moving back a bit on Wisconsin. Wisconsin maybe 2 to 3 seats on Virginia. Virginia now maybe, let's say, 4 seats up on Central Florida for the first to third. So Virginia maybe a seat and a half, 2 seats off Wisconsin there. Out in the near lanes that you see camera, lane 6 is nearest to the camera, lane 0 is the far side. So we're talking about the boats and the lanes. Just for clarification, lane 6 is closest to us.
Looks like Virginia and Wisconsin are going stroke for stroke here at the same stroke rate down the course. Pretty tight race first through fourth right now.
Yeah, and so about 800 meters in here, looks like Virginia may be a seat behind Wisconsin. Wisconsin had that quick start early. Virginia was with Central Florida there off the line, and Virginia's moved away from Central Florida, but certainly stroke for stroke there with Wisconsin. So first and second, a good battle there.
Virginia's definitely moving up on Wisconsin now. They've just taken it appears to be about a seat, so they must have made a move. A move being that they've committed to increasing their boat speed at that particular point during the race and seeing if they can push to either get a seat or push back into the lead or push into a crew that is ahead of them.
So that battle for first and second certainly there, but also third and fourth. Looks like Central Florida and UCLA battling out there for third and fourth. UCLA was quick off the line early, and then Central Florida kind of moved there. Now it looks like UCLA coming back a bit. Then a battle for fifth, sixth, seventh between Minnesota, Louisville, and Navy. Also pretty close to call there. As you see the angle here, we're past 1,000. Looks like real close again between those first two. Wisconsin looks like they've responded to Virginia's move, and it looks bow ball to bow ball there. And then in Central Florida, maybe, let's say, 4 or 5 seats up on UCLA for that third spot.
This is fun racing. I always loved racing, Steve, when you're right next to another boat, because the lanes are obviously not very far apart, so you can kind of feel the energy of all the other crews that are out there. And when you're going stroke for stroke or seat for seat with a boat next to you, it's really exciting. That's the epitome of racing.
Yeah, so now here, about 7:50 to go. It looks like that Louisville's in fifth. Navy 6th and Minnesota 7th. And so you talked, Megan, about how when you have 7 boats, the kind of chaos that happens the first 250 until it kind of narrows out how the focus for them to stay in their boat.
Yeah, it is very important. My experience is that it is easy to get distracted by what's going on outside around you. But again, in the grand scheme of things, what's going on around you doesn't matter as much as what's happening inside your boat of 9 or 4, depending on the size of the boat you're in. If you can stay focused on your boat, I find that it leads to more success further down the line because you want to stay together and be able to push together and feed off of each other.
So as we look here with about, let's say 550, 600 to go, great battle for first between Wisconsin and Virginia. And when you look, these are the 3 and 4 seats coming in, so it makes sense that this battle will certainly be the tightest. So it looks like Wisconsin may have about a seat or 2 on Virginia. And then third looks to clearly be Central Florida, with UCLA clearly fourth. And again, points, we'll start tallying these as we get going here. As they come into the last, let's say, 400 or so. So close battle there. So Wisconsin's up by a couple seats. Hard to tell again from this angle what's going on. We'll get to those red buoys marked at last 250. As they start to pick up the stroke rate, Megan, talk about how you kind of start at 45 strokes a minute,
Sure.
settle back down, and then really try to crank it up here at the end.
So here at the end, you're going to approach back up closer to 40 like you did coming off the line. Right now, it looks as if Wisconsin is around 36, 37 strokes a minute, and Virginia is right around 38. So it's a pretty tight battle here. So they're going to try and sprint it out and increase their stroke rate while at the same time increasing their boat speed, not just adding rate to it. You want to make sure that you're able to add power and increase your boat speed, not just continue to take more strokes.
Yeah, it looks like that Wisconsin time moved to maybe 4 or 5 seats lead as we get to the last 200 or so. So it looks like Wisconsin first, Virginia second, Central Florida is up on UCLA.
What's his race?
Just the times, not sure. Give the times in the second race for the third one here. The second race, it was 6:17 after all there. So Texas 6:17 won the second heat. Indiana in the second.